Full-time Anfield, Liverpool 3, West Ham United 1. This is the live post-match reaction. The final whistle has just gone on Merseyside. And yeah, a little bit deflated, a little bit frustrated. But we asked before the game for a performance, and that's exactly what we got. Look, conceded. And to be fair, it was frustrating to concede them because by the time they'd got that goal in whatever it was, 15 minutes, we'd already had two golden chances that we really should have put away inside 9 minutes. I mean, those couple of headers, the Antonio Wayward one, and the one that came just before it as well. You've got to score, you've got to take your chances when you're away to a side like Liverpool. That's the bottom line of it. They're too good of a side to squander the chances that we did squander. Bowen had a chance as well from, was it a set piece, like a corner or a free kick or something, where he headed straight down Alisson's throat. And at the end of the day, there's three that I can just reel off there. Three big chances that if we score them, then I think we're well on the way to picking something up in the match. I don't think it was a 3-1 game. I think 2-1 Liverpool is probably a fair result. I think we deserve to score. We deserve to be level. That was for sure. And yeah, just a little bit frustrating. We ran out of steam at the end. And listen, I think it's similar to last week where we've got a side that's better than us. Liverpool are a better football team than West Ham. And in the second half, we have ended up being outclassed slightly. We ran out of steam in both games. But again, there's still plenty of positives to take out of that Man City game last week and this Liverpool game this week. There's still positives to take out of it, and I haven't even talked about the blatant penalty that we should have had just before we did open our account. So look, a decent afternoon. Of course, we didn't want to lose. We didn't want to lose 3-1, but I think a performance is more crucial in the two games against the two best teams in the league, in my opinion. They will be up there this year, Liverpool and Man City, and if they aren't the top two, I'm going to be surprised this year, if I'm honest. So look, they're a good side. They've managed to collect and put together a really good midfield. Their attack speaks for itself. Some questionable defending chucked in there as well, and it's 3-1. I think for their first goal, I think it really came against the run of play. I think Soufal gets dragged in a little bit too much down that right hand side again. Didn't think he was at all near his best today, Soufal, on that right hand side, and he was sucked in. It's clumsy from a Gerd, but he's put in a quite awkward position by his fellow defensive teammates. So again, it's got to be put down as an Gerd mistake. And then don't mark your man for the second goal. I mean, come on, it's over the top. It's pretty similar to the Man City goal last week. Either Zoom or Gerd, one of you have got to mark the man that runs straight through the middle of our defence, and not one of them picked him up. And he went through and it's a decent finish. And that's their second goal, and then listen, the third goal at the end, and we were, I'm glad we didn't concede anymore because I don't think we deserved to, and I think I don't think we were quite value for a point, but I still thought we played quite well. I still take positives out of the performance, and at the end of the day, beaten by a very good football team. Let's take some of your comments. Shug says we played okay. I could have offered a bit more in attack. All Central Gaming it says Antonio's awful. He wasn't great. We couldn't quite get the ball up to him enough, and it just wasn't quite sticking today. Miss Hammer says, to be honest, glad I didn't get to find a stream. Disappointed that we didn't take our opportunities. Hate losing at the best times, but loathe losing to them. Yeah, listen, I don't like losing to them. They're a good side. We all know that, but it's always nice to get one over them, and there's a reason we've only beaten them at their place one time in 60 years. It's because they are a good team. It's a really hard place to go, Anfield, and I think we probably did ourselves justice. A little bit hard done by the result, I think, and I think we were a little bit unfortunate with the chances we had. And listen, I think it's a stonewall penalty. I think we're in a really, I think Gary O'Neill said it, and I'm going to echo what Gary O'Neill said the other night. I think we're in a really bad place with the rules if that's not a penalty, in my opinion. The ball doesn't deviate away when the apparent contact, some people send this, and he doesn't touch the ball. He doesn't win the ball. He quite clearly misses the ball by a distance and then trips Bowen up. Listen, if that's not a penalty, then... and, the issue that I have with it is That's not given, and there was no VAR check on that. It was very quick and done, but they took about a minute and a half to try and find an angle that would show that disallowed goal that was clearly offside. You know, he was clearly in front of our defenders. They tried to find a way to disallow it, and they couldn't because he was clearly offside. But again, I'd like to see whether there was any conversation in the VAR room about that, because I think it's a clear and obvious error from the on-field referee. Put your thoughts of that into the comment section. Yeah, an Antonio poor header and a Bowen penalty, and that chance. I forgot who it was who had the header really early on as well. Was it Souček? I can't remember. It was a brilliant ball put in. And yeah, but I mean, the goal we did score, fantastic. I don't think Soufal had the best of games, don't get me wrong. But that ball into Jared Bowen, very similar to last week, Ward-Prowse's header. He got low and he put it into the corner, and I think we deserve that. 100% we deserve that. And we've got to take positives out of a performance against a side that are very, very good. You know, they were questionable last year, Liverpool, at the best of times, but this year they've improved. There's no doubt about that. They are a better side. And I think we stood toe-to-toe to them, stood toe-to-toe with them for a big, big portion of that match. And listen, on another day, Núñez slots home that chance he had in the second half. But on another day, I think we could score 3 there and get a penalty. It's just the way it is, isn't it? It's just the way it is. Moyes' decisions are questionable massively for me yet again. The subs didn't have the impact that he probably desired for. I didn't think there was too much wrong with the subs, to be honest. I would have probably brought Kudus on a little bit earlier than he did come on. I thought Lucas Paqueta was absolutely excellent. That's one thing I have missed. Paqueta was head and shoulders above any West Ham player on that pitch, but he was puffing on a 70 minutes. He was blowing, so maybe he could have come off a little bit early. He played Thursday night, and he left everything out there this afternoon. He came off on the 85th minute, I think. And yeah, maybe you can question the subs, but there isn't a hell of a lot more he could have done. Ings is just put on as a token gesture. Fornals doesn't have the impact that we all hope he will, and Kudus couldn't really get into the game. So they're probably the subs I would have made, but just didn't make the impact today. For me, Sharky says, let's bounce back at Lincoln and get a win against Sheffield United. Haters next week. Yeah, exactly. You know, if we beat Lincoln on Wednesday night, whenever it is, we play them a routine win and beat Sheffield United at home next week, which we should be expected to. I don't think we'll look back with any real animosity and any real anger about these two results. We haven't been battered by any stretch. We've had our chances. We've caused problems to Liverpool and to Man City over the last couple of weeks, and that's all we asked for. We aren't on the level. Look, the thing you've got to look at, we aren't on the level of Liverpool, Man City. You could probably put Arsenal into that category. We just aren't. But so far this season, we've beat 2 teams that are probably on the next level down. Chelsea, Brighton, to name the couple of teams there. We've beaten teams that are just that step down from the best. And listen, there's no shame to losing to these sides. And all we asked for today was a decent performance, to back up maybe a goal. And that's exactly what we got. So I'm not too unhappy about it. Of course, I would have liked us, to get more out of it, but in the end, it is what it is. Right, let's take some more of your comments. Miss Hammer says, Benny should have been given the chance to bring the pace and flair to the game to give us a chance to bounce back. Yeah, maybe Ben Rama could have come on towards the end, but really, as Ben Rama had the influence in the last couple of games that we'd hoped for, he hasn't. So yeah, maybe Ben Rama was the only other change I would have made to bring on, but at the end of the day, there's positives to take out of it. I thought that the midfield worked really well together. Paqueta, as I said, was head and shoulders again. I mean, some of those, it wasn't just a couple of little flicks and tricks. He was getting himself out of literal circles of 3 Liverpool players, and the commentators going, how has he got the ball and come out with it there, pushing us up the pitch, sprinting back, sprinting forward, defensively and offensively. He was just so good. And yeah, if we keep hold of him next summer, I'll be surprised, because he is the next level for me, Lucas Paqueta, and he showed that today. And for me, head and shoulders man of the match from a West Ham point of view. Yeah, hit the like button if you haven't already. Sean, I'll be speaking to you later on. I think 35% possession. You'll rarely be the better side. Going toe to toe isn't losing that much possession. We're gonna have this conversation every single game this year, Sean. But we aren't gonna have possession. And I'm sure if you look at the non-biased Sky highlights later, they didn't really pose any threat to our goal apart from that Nunes chance and the goals they scored. I thought they were good on the ball when they controlled it, but they are going to control the ball against most sides at Anfield this year. That's just the bottom line. They call it the fortress, and to be fair to them, they very rarely lose at Anfield, and we pushed them today. We scored, we got level for a considerable amount of time, and we had some really good chances. As I said, on another day we bury them, and on another day we've got a functional VAR room that look at that challenge on Bowen and go, well, that's a clear and obvious penalty. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I believe the build-up show. I believe the roundup shows later, but I'm not 100% sure. Somebody will confirm for me, either Sean or Dad. I think so. But yeah, hit that like button if you haven't already, and subscribe to West Ham Official as well. Keep your comments coming in. And yeah, overall, Liverpool, decent side. They won't be in the Europa League spaces this year. I think they'll be back up into the Champions League, and their expectation probably is to win the Europa League this year. Hopefully we can have something to do with that one, but all we wanted was a performance, a goal, and some decent, and a decent outing, and that's what we've got. As long as we go and beat Sheffield United next week at home, which Spurs found quite difficult last week, so hopefully we can find it a little bit more straightforward, because at the end of the day, if we want to be mid-table, top half even, we need to be beating Sheffield United at home. It's a game that every single side in the Premier League should be looking to win. So yeah, we'll look forward to that. But before that, of course, we've got Lincoln away in the Carabao Cup, hoping for next week 2 routine wins through to the 4th round of the Carabao Cup, another 3 points on the board in the Premier League. And listen, we're 3 points off our record start in a Premier League season. We never start well, but I'd still class this as a decent start to the season with the games we've played. Chelsea, Brighton, who we never beat, Man City and Liverpool. We've played some decent teams there, and we've managed to get quite a decent point accumulation back from it. So yeah, I'm not too angry about it, but we'll move on and hopefully win next week. Yeah, 7 p.m. with Sean. Did Chelsea beat Villa? Did Villa beat Chelsea? Get in. That's good. We'll be speaking to a very happy Josh later on. Was it 2-2 North London derby finish? So Sean will be reasonably happy, I'm sure, with that result. And yeah, we'll join you for more coverage on the Roundup show at 7 o'clock tonight. So set your alarms and be there for then. But from me, that's it. Come on, you irons, and I'll see you soon right here on West Ham Official. Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.